This is a chestnut stallion who I met in Portugal, and he was on his last chance. He'd come to this yard because he was so aggressive, and even they wouldn't lead him anywhere without a schooling whip because he tended to be quite aggressive towards people. What I found fascinating about this horse was that despite his history, he was still desperate for human interaction, and I only went over to his stable because he was watching me intently when I was working with another horse on the yard. So we didn't film the first time I went over to him, but this was the second, and you can see that his first reaction is to go and nip people whenever they put their hand up. So because he was after the interaction, he got a stroke on the nose for every time that he didn't try and nip me. And I waited for him to come back to me and look to me with his ears pricked to ask me to stroke his nose again. This is when I came back a few minutes later, and again he's a bit more consistent in this behaviour. And you can see that I'm really waiting for him to look to me before I put my hand up, so he can cue me to stroke his nose by looking towards me. If he doesn't, as he is now, if he's staring into the distance, I just keep my hand down, wait for his attention to return, and in that way he can ask me if he wants the strokes or not. If he does try and nip, then I take my hand away immediately. Oh, there's some old behaviour coming out. Yeah, quite stressed as well. So it's totally up to him whether he chooses this or not, and you can see he's come back to me with his ears pricked. And this time I managed to get my hand a lot further. When he finally let me stroke his head, he just melted. And it was then that I realised that he may never have been stroked or cuddled before in his life. And as a stallion on a yard of stallions, he doesn't get grooming from other horses either. So he just absolutely loved it.